The text message from my assistant came just as I was boarding my return flight. Server migration complete ahead of schedule. For once, being efficient would cost me everything. My name is Paul, and I'm good at reading patterns. It's what made me successful in corporate strategy, and it's what made me notice the subtle shifts in my wife's behavior over the past few months. New perfumes, late meetings, hushed phone calls. I should have listened to my gut sooner. The house was quiet when I pulled into the driveway at 9:47 p.m. Malia's BMW was parked crooked, like she'd been in a hurry. Next to it sat a familiar Mercedes, my brother Eric's car. My stomach twisted, but I forced myself to breathe slowly, the same way I did before major presentations. The front door opened silently. I'd oiled the hinges last weekend. The foyer light was off, but upstairs, a warm glow spilled from our bedroom. Then I heard it. Giggling, whispers, the creak of our bed. Shh, Malia's voice drifted down. He won't be back until Monday. Let him catch us, Eric's voice replied. What's Big Brother gonna do about it? I climbed the stairs, each step measured and silent. The manila folder in my hand suddenly felt heavy. I'd been carrying it for weeks, waiting for the right moment. Funny how life gives you exactly what you're looking for, usually when you least want to find it. The bedroom door wasn't fully closed. Through the gap, I could see Eric buttoning his shirt, that stupid smirk on his face. Malia lay tangled in our sheets, the ones I'd bought her for our anniversary. I pushed the door open. Malia's eyes went wide. Paul, you're not supposed to be here? I finished for her, my voice steadier than I expected. Clearly, Eric didn't even try to look ashamed. He just kept smirking, running a hand through his disheveled hair. Sorry, bro, but let's be honest, she never really loved you. I walked to the foot of the bed and placed the manila folder down. The label faced up. Prenup Clause B. Adultery, delayed/, everything is mine. See you both at brunch tomorrow, I said quietly, turning to leave. Dad's really looking forward to it. Paul, wait, Malia scrambled to cover herself. I can explain. I paused at the doorway, not turning back. No need. You've explained plenty. The door closed with a soft click behind me. As I descended the stairs, I heard Eric's voice change from smug to uncertain. What's in that folder? I walked to my car, got in, and sat there for a moment. My phone buzzed. Probably Malia starting her damage control. I turned it off without looking. They thought they'd broken me, that I'd yell, throw things, make a scene. They expected the hurt husband, the betrayed brother, but they'd forgotten what I do for a living. I don't react. I strategize. Opening my laptop, I pulled up the security camera feed I'd installed 2 months ago. The footage would make excellent material for tomorrow's family brunch presentation. Malia had insisted on having it at that fancy country club she loved so much. Perfect venue, really. Nice big screens in the private dining room. I started the engine and pulled out of the driveway. In the rearview mirror, I could see Eric's silhouette in our bedroom window, probably already calling his lawyer. But he didn't know what I knew. About the trust fund clause, about the adoption papers, about everything. Tomorrow would be interesting. I smiled for the first time that night. Sometimes the best revenge isn't served hot or cold. It's served with perfect timing. 2 months earlier, I sat in Gabriella's office, watching her review the security company's quote. My oldest friend raised an eyebrow at the price. 16 cameras for a 3-bedroom house, she asked. That's thorough. It's the wireless features I'm interested in, I said. Remote viewing, motion activation, cloud storage. She set down the paper. Paul, just tell me what's really going on. I pulled out my phone and showed her the texts I'd found on Malia's iPad, the ones she thought had been deleted. Conversations with E about meeting times, hotel rooms, inside jokes about keeping secrets. Jesus, Gabriella whispered, scrolling through. Your brother? I need proof, I said. The prenup is airtight, but only with evidence. The cameras went in 3 days later. The security company was actually a private investigation firm, professionals who knew exactly where to place each tiny lens. Malia never questioned it. She was too busy planning the surprise family brunch. Within a week, I had my answer. The first footage came on a Tuesday afternoon. I was supposedly in Seattle, but my meeting had ended early. I sat in my hotel room, watching the live feed as Eric's Mercedes pulled into my driveway. You shouldn't be here, Malia said in the foyer video. Paul could call any minute. Eric grabbed her waist. That's what makes it exciting, doesn't it? I watched them kiss, my hand steady as I clicked record. But Eric wasn't the only surprise visitor. The following week, a silver Audi appeared. The driver was Angel Wood, supposedly our adoption lawyer. He and Malia spent 2 hours in the guest room, discussing things that had nothing to do with paperwork. We'll tell him after the brunch, Malia said to Angel as he was leaving. Once everything's in place, Paul will be out of the way. I called Gabriella immediately. I need everything you can find on Angel Wood. The adoption lawyer, she paused. Paul, how long has Vincent been with you? 4 years. Why? Because I'm looking at Angel's records right now. He was disbarred for 3 years. Starting 5 years ago. The pieces clicked. Vincent's dark eyes, so different from mine or Malia's. The adoption papers that never seemed quite finished. I met Gabriella for coffee the next morning. She slid a folder across the table. DNA test kit, she said. Non-invasive. Just swab Vincent's juice cup. I think you need to know everything before this blows up. I stared at the folder. The brunch is in 6 weeks. Malia's planning some big announcement. Any idea what? My phone buzzed. Another security alert. I opened the app to see Malia in our home office, talking to Madison, her best friend. The fake pregnancy test is perfect, Malia was saying. Paul will be so excited, he won't even question the divorce papers when they come. Madison shifted uncomfortably. This feels wrong, Malia. Paul's a good guy. A good guy with a trust fund, Malia laughed. And once Eric and I are together officially, we'll have both brothers' shares. I closed the app. Gabriella watched me carefully. You're taking this surprisingly well, she said, because now I know exactly what to do. I pulled out my laptop. Remember that moral conduct clause in Dad's trust, the one Eric always joked about? Gabriella's eyes widened. The one that voids everything if there's proof of family betrayal? Malia wants to make an announcement at brunch, I started typing. I think I'll prepare one of my own. What are you planning? I smiled. Let's just say I'm going to give them exactly the audience they deserve. The coffee shop's door chimed. Madison walked in, saw us, and froze. Perfect timing, I said. Madison, would you like to join us? I think you have something to tell me. Madison's hands trembled around her coffee cup. I wanted to tell you sooner, but Malia. She said she'd ruin me if I did. Start from the beginning, I said, sliding my phone across the table, recording app running. She took a shaky breath. It started last year, at the Christmas party. Eric was drunk, telling everyone how you always got everything, the company position, Dad's favor, the perfect wife. She paused. Malia heard him. She liked what he was saying. Gabriella took notes while Madison spilled everything. The first kiss at New Year's, secret meetings at the lake house, Angel's involvement in creating fake adoption papers. Angel's Vincent's real father, isn't he? I asked quietly. Madison nodded. From before she met you, she made him promise to stay quiet, said she'd help him get his law license back if he played along. My phone buzzed. A text from Eric. Need your signature on some tax forms. Dropping by your office later. Perfect. Madison, I said, would you be willing to make a statement? Official, on record? She straightened her spine. Yes, I'm done protecting her. After Madison left, Gabriella pulled out a stack of documents. These are the trust fund papers. Eric needs to sign here, thinking it's a tax document. Once he does, everything he owns goes into a locked trust, I finished, controlled by Dad's moral conduct clause. You're sure about this? She asked. Once it starts, they're planning to take my son, my money, and my dignity. I stood up. I'm going to take everything first. At my office, Eric swaggered in around 3, reeking of expensive cologne. Hey bro, just need your signature on these tax forms. Dad's accountant is being a pain. I watched him sign the real documents, hidden within a stack of decoy papers. His smirk never wavered. How's Malia? He asked casually. Haven't seen her lately. Busy planning the brunch, I replied, matching his tone. She's very excited about her announcement. Right, the announcement. He shuffled uncomfortably. Look, Paul. Yes? Nothing. Never mind. He grabbed his coat. See you Sunday. After he left, I called Angel's office. His secretary put me through immediately. Amazing what a large retainer can do. Paul, Angel's voice was too bright. How's the adoption paperwork coming along? Actually, I'm calling about Vincent's birth certificate, I said. The original one. Silence. I have an interesting video, I continued. You and Malia discussing things that would fascinate the Bar Association, especially since you were disbarred when you filed those papers. What do you want? His voice had lost its warmth. The truth, all of it, or the video goes public. An hour later, I had everything. Vincent's real birth certificate, Angel's written confession, proof of the fraudulent adoption papers. My phone buzzed again, a security alert. Malia was home, talking to someone on speaker. Everything's ready, she was saying. Paul suspects nothing. After the brunch, we'll have it all. The house, the money, even that stupid trust fund Eric's always whining about. A male laugh. And Vincent, Angel's handling it. Once the new papers go through, Paul will have no claim to him. I closed the app and called the country club. This is Paul, about Sunday's brunch presentation. I need to make some changes to the video setup. Of course, sir. What did you have in mind? I smiled, thinking of the hidden camera footage, the signed documents, the confessions. Let's just say I want to make sure everyone gets the show they deserve. Very good, sir. Will you need all 3 screens? Oh yes, I said. For this performance, we'll need every screen we can get. I found the domestic abuse allegations by accident. Gabriella was reviewing court records when she discovered the sealed filing from 2 weeks ago. She's painting you as an abuser, Gabriella said, spreading the documents across her desk. Claims of emotional manipulation, financial control, even threats of violence, all backdated to create a pattern. My hands clenched. Let me guess. Angel prepared the paperwork, with statements from Eric corroborating everything. She pushed a photo across the desk, staged bruises on Malia's arm. They're building a case to take everything, including Vincent. I thought of my brother, the kid who used to follow me everywhere, who cried when I left for college, who stood beside me at my wedding. Paul, Gabriella touched my arm. There's more. She pulled up emails between Malia and my mother, dozens of them, spanning months. Malia playing the concerned wife, telling my mother how I'd grown unstable, how she was worried about Paul's anger. My own mother, convinced I was becoming a monster. I need air, I muttered, heading for the door. Outside, I called the one person who might understand, my father. Can we meet? I asked. Alone? An hour later, I sat in his study, watching him review everything, the videos, the documents, the photos. I always knew Eric was weak, he said finally. But this... He looked up, eyes hard. What do you need? Your silence until Sunday, I replied. And afterwards, your support with Vincent. He nodded slowly. You have it. And Paul? He pulled out an old photo, Eric and me as kids, arms around each other, grinning. Make it count. Back home, I found Vincent playing with his trucks in the living room. Malia was working late again. Daddy! He launched himself into my arms. Want to see my drawing? The picture showed 3 figures, him, Malia, and a man with dark hair. Not me. Who's this? I asked carefully. Mommy's friend Angel. He brings me presents sometimes when you're away. My chest tightened. I held him closer, breathing in his familiar scent. My phone buzzed. Another security alert. Malia in her car, talking to Eric. The bruised makeup looks perfect, she was saying. Mom totally bought it. She'll testify if we need her to. You're brilliant, babe, Eric laughed. Paul never saw it coming, too busy with his precious career to notice his wife falling for his better-looking brother. Speaking of looks, Malia purred. Meet me at the usual place? Paul's stuck in meetings all day. I closed the app and called Madison. I need one more favor, I said. Can you watch Vincent tonight? I have some video editing to do. Later, in my home office, I pieced everything together. The footage, the documents, the lies, each clip carefully timed, each revelation orchestrated for maximum impact. My phone lit up with a text from Eric. Hey bro, can't wait for Sunday. Malia says her announcement will change everything. I thought of the bruised photos, the false accusations, the betrayal reaching all the way to our mother. It certainly will, I typed back. By the way, wear that blue suit Dad got you, the one that photographs well. Another text buzzed in, Malia this time. Working late again, sorry honey, don't wait up. I checked the security feed. She was already at the hotel with Eric, planning their final moves, thinking they were so clever. No problem, I replied. Just focus on making Sunday perfect. I turned back to the video editing. On screen, Malia's voice played clearly. Once we destroy Paul, everything will be ours. You're right about that, I whispered, hitting save. Everything will be exactly where it belongs. Saturday night, less than 12 hours until brunch. I sat in my office, reviewing the presentation one final time when Gabriella arrived with dinner. You need to eat, she said, setting down Chinese takeout, and you need to practice staying calm. I am calm. Paul, you're grinding your teeth. She was right. I forced my jaw to relax, picked up chopsticks. Did you confirm the media tip? Channel 7 will have a van, coincidentally, parked outside the country club. She smiled grimly. Their best reporter loves family scandal stories. My phone buzzed. Malia. Hey honey, just confirming brunch is at 11? I'm so excited about tomorrow. I could picture her face as she typed it, probably lying next to Eric, both of them thinking they were so clever. 11 sharp, I replied. Don't want to keep everyone waiting. Gabriella watched me set the phone down. You're getting better at that. At what? Pretending everything's normal. She pulled out a folder. Final checklist, media alerted, security footage edited, trust fund trap set. DNA results confirmed. DNA results. She slid a paper across the desk. Vincent's test came back. Angel is definitely the father. I stared at the numbers. The scientific proof of yet another lie. Somewhere upstairs, Vincent slept peacefully, unaware his world would change tomorrow. Paul? Gabriella's voice softened. We can still modify the plan. Protect him from the public part. No. I stood up, pacing. They wanted an audience. They'll get one. Vincent deserves to know the truth someday, and I want it documented. My phone lit up again. Eric this time. Last chance, big brother. Back out now, and maybe we'll let you visit Vincent sometimes. My hand tightened around the phone. Gabriella gently pried it away. Don't respond, she said. That's what they want. A reaction. Evidence for their abuse claims. I know. I walked to the window, watching Eric's Mercedes pull into my driveway. Again. They think tomorrow is their victory lap. Upstairs, I heard Vincent's door open. His small feet padded down the hall to the bathroom. Then Malia's voice. Let me help you, sweetie. I closed my eyes, remembering all the nights I'd done that. All the bedtime stories, the goodnight kisses, the proud father moments, all built on lies. I should go up, I said. Say goodnight. Paul. Gabriella hesitated. Can you keep your composure? Watch me. I climbed the stairs quietly. Vincent was back in bed, Malia sitting beside him. Daddy, he reached for me. Will you tell me a story? Malia tensed but kept her smile fixed. Honey, it's late. One story, I said, sitting down. How about the one about the truth? Vincent snuggled close. Is it scary? No. I stroked his hair, looking directly at Malia. It's about how the truth always comes out in the end, no matter how long people try to hide it. Malia's smile faltered. I should check on those brunch details. She hurried out. I held Vincent until he fell asleep, then went back downstairs where Gabriella waited. Everything's ready, she said. Video queued, documents prepared, media alerted, legal team on standby. Good. I sat down at my computer, opening the final presentation. Because tomorrow, we're not just exposing an affair. We're revealing every lie, every manipulation, every betrayal. And after? I thought of Vincent upstairs, of Eric's smirk, of Malia's fake bruises. After? I clicked play, watching the footage one last time. After they'll wish they'd never underestimated me. The clock struck midnight. Sunday had begun. The country club's private dining room buzzed with conversation. Malia had outdone herself with the arrangements. Fresh flowers, champagne bottles ready to pop. 3 large presentation screens perfectly positioned. Everything set, the AV tech whispered, handing me the remote. Switch to input B whenever you're ready. I nodded, taking my seat at the head of the table. Vincent sat to my right, coloring quietly. Malia floated around the room in a new designer dress, playing the perfect hostess. Paul, darling, she kissed my cheek. Isn't this wonderful? Everyone we love, all together. Eric arrived last, wearing the blue suit as requested. He winked at Malia when he thought no one was looking. Before we begin, Malia stood, glowing. I want to thank everyone for coming to our special brunch. We have some amazing news to share. My father caught my eye from across the table. I gave him the slightest nod. First, I interrupted, standing. I prepared a little presentation about family, trust, and truth. Malia's smile flickered. But honey, I thought, please, I gestured to her seat. You'll want to be sitting for this. The lights dimmed. On screen, a photo montage began. Malia and me on our wedding day, family vacations, Vincent's adoption day. Beautiful memories, I narrated. But memories can be deceiving. I pressed the button. The screen flickered. Suddenly, hotel surveillance footage filled all 3 screens. Malia and Eric entering and leaving rooms. Date stamps, multiple locations. Their own voices providing narration through hidden recordings. Paul's such an idiot, Eric's voice boomed through the speakers. He actually thinks Vincent is adopted. Gasps filled the room. Malia's father knocked over his water glass. The bruise photos are perfect, Malia's voice continued. Everyone will believe he abused me. My mother's hand flew to her mouth. The bruises. You said Paul. Keep watching, I said quietly. The screen split to show more footage. Malia with Angel, discussing Vincent's real parentage. Eric, bragging about stealing his brother's wife. The fake pregnancy test plan. The trust fund scheme. Turn it off, Malia screamed, lunging for the remote. Oh, but we haven't gotten to the legal documents yet, I said, nodding to Gabriella. She stood, distributing folders. Exhibit A, fraudulent abuse claims. Exhibit B, the trust fund moral clause, triggered by Eric's own signature. Exhibit C, Vincent's real birth certificate. Eric jumped up. This is bullshit. You can't prove... Actually, my father's voice cut through the chaos. He can prove everything. He turned to Eric. You're cut off. Effective immediately. Malia collapsed into her chair, mascara running. You don't understand. I can explain. Explain what? I played the final clip. Her conversation with Angel about taking Vincent away from me. Through the dining room's windows, I could see the Channel 7 van pulling up. I filed for divorce this morning, I announced. Full custody of Vincent. And thanks to the prenup's infidelity clause, you get nothing. You can't take my son, Malia shrieked. Actually, Angel spoke up from his seat, looking pale. Legally, he can. I've already signed the papers relinquishing my rights. The room erupted. Eric lunged at me, but security, quietly stationed earlier, restrained him. Malia's father was shouting about disgrace. My mother was crying. Through it all, I remained standing, calm. Vincent, I said softly, time to go home. He took my hand, looking confused but trusting. As we walked out, reporters swarmed the entrance. Cameras flashed. Malia ran after us, mascara-stained tears streaming. Paul, please. I turned, facing her one last time. You wanted an audience for your big announcement, I said. I just made sure you got the right one. The cameras kept rolling as Vincent and I drove away, leaving chaos in our wake. The media circus lasted 3 days. Every local channel ran the story. Corporate executive exposes wife's affair with brother. Trust fund lost in scandal. Malia's marketing firm suspended her. Eric's Mercedes got repossessed. Their perfect worlds crumbled hour by hour. But they weren't done trying. They're at the front gate, my security team reported. Malia and Eric demanding to see Vincent. I watched through the cameras as they argued with the guards. Malia's designer clothes were wrinkled, Eric's face unshaven. 4 days without access to money had taken its toll. Sir, the guard's voice crackled. Ms. Francis insists she has legal documents. Let them in, I said. Bring them to the study. Gabriella touched my arm. Are you sure? Trust me. They burst in minutes later, Malia waving papers. These prove I have rights to Vincent. Angel signed. Interesting timing, I interrupted, considering Angel's meeting with the Bar Association right now. Her face paled. What? Probably discussing his disbarment, I continued, and all those fraudulent adoption papers he filed. The DA's particularly interested in the forgeries. Eric stepped forward. Listen, Paul, we can work something. Like you worked the trust fund? I pressed a button on my desk phone. Dad, are you there? Right here, son. My father's voice filled the room. Is it time? They're here. Good. Eric, since you're there, the family lawyers just finished their audit. You've committed trust fund fraud. Criminal charges are being filed. Eric staggered. Dad, no. You betrayed your brother. Our father's voice was ice. Tried to steal his child, conspired to frame him for abuse. You're no son of mine. Malia lunged for my desk. You planned this. You manipulated everything. No, Malia, I just revealed everything. I nodded to Gabriella, who opened her laptop, including the offshore account where you've been hiding money. The IRS is very interested in that. You can't prove. Check your phone. She pulled it out, face crumpling as notifications flooded in. Bank accounts frozen, credit cards cancelled, assets seized. That's not all, Gabriella added. The DA is considering criminal conspiracy charges against both of you. Eric grabbed Malia's arm. We need to go, now. Wait, I said softly. Don't you want to see what's playing on the news right now? I turned on the TV. There they were, security footage from the country club parking lot, showing them planning the fake abuse claims, the trust fund scheme, everything. Full confession, I explained. Very compelling. You're destroying us, Malia whispered. No, you did that yourselves. I'm just making sure everyone knows the truth. I stood. Now get out of my house. Vincent, she tried one last time, is legally my son, only mine. Angel signed away his rights in exchange for immunity. I walked to the door. He's smarter than both of you. Security appeared, ready to escort them out. Through the window, I could see reporters gathering. Someone had tipped them off. Oh, and Eric, I called after them. Remember when we were kids and you broke my model airplane? You said accidents happen. He turned, face confused. This wasn't an accident, I finished. This was strategy. The front door opened to camera flashes and shouted questions. Malia covered her face. Eric pushed reporters aside. Their perfect world was gone. Gabriella closed her laptop. That was the last piece. It's done. No, I said, watching them flee through the media gauntlet. Now comes the hard part. What's that? Building a better life for Vincent. I turned away from the window. One without lies. Upstairs, I could hear him playing, innocent and unaware. Tomorrow would bring challenges, but for now, justice felt like enough. The mountain cabin's silence felt like a gift. Vincent played with his trucks on the deck while I sipped coffee, watching the sunrise. My phone buzzed. Gabriella's daily update. Eric took the plea deal, she said. 2 years probation, full admission of trust fund fraud. He's moving to Mexico next week. And Malia? Her father cut her off completely. She's living with Madison, ironically, working as a retail clerk. Gabriella paused. The divorce is final. All assets transferred to you. I watched Vincent racing his trucks, making engine noises. How's he doing? Angel signed the final paperwork yesterday. Vincent is legally yours, no contest possible. The adoption fraud charges killed any chance Malia had for custody. The screen door creaked. My mother stepped out, carrying more coffee. I still can't believe I believed her, she said, sitting beside me. The bruise photos, the stories. You weren't the only one they fooled. No, she touched my hand. But I was the one who should have known better. Known you. Vincent ran over, holding up a truck. Grandma, look, Dad got me a new one. My mother hugged him tight, eyes glistening. Some wounds were healing faster than others. My phone buzzed again, Madison this time. Malia's asking about Vincent again, she texted. She's a mess. Eric cleaned out their secret account before running. Karma, I typed back. The investigation had revealed more than just the affair. Eric and Malia had been planning for months. Secret accounts, fake documents, manipulated evidence. They'd thought they were brilliant strategists. They forgot who taught Eric everything he knew about strategy. Dad, Vincent climbed into my lap. Can we go fishing today? Of course, buddy. I hugged him close. Just us guys. My father appeared at the cabin door. Room for one more fisherman? Later, standing in the stream with Vincent between us, teaching him to cast, my father spoke quietly. Your brother called yesterday, begging for money. What did you say? That he should have thought about consequences before betraying family. He helped Vincent reel in a small trout. Good job, grandson, Vincent beamed. Can we cook it for dinner? Sure can, my father said. Your dad's quite the chef now. That evening, after Vincent was asleep, Gabriella called one last time. The book deal came through, she said. They loved the title. Strategic Justice, a story of corporate revenge. Think people will read it? Are you kidding? It's already trending on social media. Everyone loves seeing karma served professionally. I walked onto the deck, staring at the stars. Did I go too far? They tried to take everything from you. Your son, your reputation, your family. You just showed them what real strategy looks like. A shooting star streaked across the sky. I remembered Eric's words from that night. She never really loved you. He was right, but he forgot something important. Love wasn't the goal. Justice was. One more thing, Gabriella added. Your promotion came through. CEO of the entire division. I smiled. Turns out exposing corporate fraud makes the board trust you. Inside, Vincent stirred in his sleep. Tomorrow we'd go hiking, just us. No hidden cameras, no secret plans, no betrayals, just truth. You know what the best revenge is? I asked Gabriella. What's that? Living well. I looked at Vincent's peaceful face through the door. And making sure the next generation knows the difference between strategy and betrayal. The mountain air felt clean, pure, like a fresh start. Sometimes the best endings aren't about destroying your enemies. They're about rebuilding something better from the wreckage they left behind.